I'm Chantel Cohen, and I am cooking today because even though I'm a therapist and a coach, I also have to feed my family. And I'm also here with my good friend Lou, and I've given Lou some wine. Lou, come on over.
Hi.
And Lou is, we're having a little bit of wine. I'm cooking dinner for tonight. We're having a little bit of cheese, and she's keeping me company.
I am. Hi. Thank you, Chantel.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyway, guys, you know, I think that a lot of us really face challenges around how do we balance family and career and even just sort of taking care of yourselves. I mean, the thing that I try to do to take care of myself, sorry, I'm off camera just for a second, guys, is to make sure that I eat well. It's not to say that I don't eat bad things, but kind of that 80-20 rule. I try to make sure that I eat things that are going to nourish my body, and I want to do that for my family as well. And that takes time. It really does. And it takes a lot of planning. I typically do my grocery shopping on the weekends. Also, a lot of produce is fresher that way, so it's really nice. I wish I could say that prior to really getting busy, I used to shop every 2 or 3 days, almost like a European, lots of farmers markets. Now I'm really, really busy, and it's not a complaint. It's exactly what I want. But I wish I had more time to visit those farmers markets, you know, just a little more time being able to choose the food that I prepare for the family. And I used to go to a place called Carlton Farms, and this guy would show up in this truck really neat. He had a farm, he had dairy cows, and he had all this produce. And think about like those food trucks. It was almost like a food truck, and he would pull up at a certain time each week, and I would get certain produce, and you'd also know ahead of time so you could order it. I'd get milk for the kids, etc. And then I would also go to the Morningside Farmers Market as well. And then we've also got this great place in Atlanta called the DeKalb Farmers Market, which is truly, truly amazing. And a lot of, it's in Decatur, and a lot of people from other countries go there, and the produce is really fresh. And oftentimes I see chefs there in their chef's jackets buying food. And so it's harder for me to get to those places, so I'm gonna be totally honest with you. But we have fresh cooked food, I'm gonna say 6 days out of the week. We do like to order in sometimes, or we'll go out to eat. We have a lot of restaurants here in Buckhead that we'd like to go to. And also because I'm so busy, my husband's so busy, we tend to stay in our neighborhood, but Atlanta has so many great restaurants. My husband and I were down, we were on a date night. We left the kids at home on Friday. It was so much fun, and we did an art stroll and just went out to a Mexican restaurant and had some margaritas, and that was really awesome. We typically do something like that once a week, but not necessarily a date night. We probably do date nights like twice a month, and then other times we go with the kids, and that's really a lot of fun. We have a great time, but I need time with my hubby as well. So the reason why I'm talking about this is I want to let you know that it's a little bit of a struggle for me too. I have to be really, really intentional about, off camera again, guys, I'm just throwing some things away, my trash can's over there, is I have to be really intentional about where I put my energy. And first and foremost comes my family. But I start off every morning with, as you guys know, I've said it many times, I start off every morning with 20 minutes of meditation. So I start that, and then usually I'll go into cardio. Today I went to do weight training, and then I did cardio. You get more of a calorie burn if you do it in that order. But it's something that I've really, really worked at. And so one of the things I want you to think about is not so much of having it all, but helping you structure your life in a way that feels manageable, that you get to practice self-care, that you have time for your career, and then you also have time for family. Believe it or not, guys, I wish I could say that we eat together every night. I really encourage families to do that. But there are 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, where I do stay late for my practice because my clients oftentimes can't get out of work early. So those are the 2 days that I offer that late night. I take my last appointment at 7. And so usually by the time I get home around 8:30, I'm having whatever was for dinner that they've already eaten at that point. But the other nights we really try to be together, and there's nothing extraordinary about what we do. We simply, talk about our day, talk about anything that's gone on. We laugh. I watch my kids kind of argue a little bit, and that's kind of funny as well. Our oldest is in college at Clemson, and so we really miss him during those family dinners as well. You guys are going to watch me make my salad dressing. I've made it for many, many years. If you have anything at home like this has all the sort of ounces on it. Like for example, this is 10 ounces, this is 2 ounces. Not being braggy, but I'm kind of known for my salad dressing. People ask me to bring it to parties and things, and it's very simple. And so I haven't had bottled dressing in years. Probably at least 25 years. Obviously, if I go to a restaurant, it could be bottled, or if I go to someone's home, I'm gonna turn my nose up or anything like that. But I do try to, I don't try, I do it. I actually make dressing. I make enough. I used to make it every night, but now I make kind of like a batch. So I just put 4 ounces of apple cider vinegar, and I get the sea salt. I have a good friend of mine named Jen Pillow, and she is from Mauritius, which is an island off of Africa, and she has her salt. She has a salt business, and I've been buying salt from her for, gosh, I'm gonna say about 12, 13 years. I love her salt. It's different in quality. It's just something about the texture. And it's all my kids have ever known. And so that's what I use. And then I'm using a little bit of Trader Joe's black pepper. Fresh ground is always better. You're gonna get the best flavors with this. See, you guys? Pepper it, salt it as much as you want. Remember, I'm making kind of a batch here. And then usually what I do is I have this top, and I just shake it. You can add what you want to it as well. Sometimes I'll add a little citrus to it, which is really pretty neat. So today, and you can do blood oranges, you can do tangerines. I wouldn't recommend lemons because you're already using the apple cider vinegar, but it really gives it a nice flavor, and it has this freshness. Now again, sometimes I do make salad dressings with balsamic and some other things, but I just like to switch it up. It's warm, and I want a little bit of summer infused. I know it's not summer yet, but I'm really anticipating it. So again, I'm just gonna shake this up a bit. You get a little bit of sweetness, and then I'm gonna add a little organic agave sweetener as well. All these guys are, obviously I do my own grocery shopping. I don't have anybody else doing that for me. And I just put a tiny bit, maybe a ½ ounce in there of agave nectar, because you don't want the sweetness to overpower it. And it looks, normally, you guys, this takes me 3 minutes, but I'm kind of going over it with you guys to let you know that it's not that hard to have fresh food. It's not that difficult. You just gotta plan for it. And so I've done this for so long. And I love to cook. So, and this is organic olive oil, and you wanna use maybe about 2 ounces. Remember, you're gonna use about 4 ounces of vinegar. And I know this isn't a cooking class, but I love to share some of the things that I really love. and I get a lot of compliments on my, like I said, my dressing. And now, guys, I've got dressing, as you can see, 8 ounces of dressing. It's gonna last my family approximately 3 nights. And so I don't have to worry about coming up with dressing. I only do it about twice a week. And then all I've done here is a bunch of different greens. Sometimes I add different kinds of vegetables to all of this. Sometimes I add avocado, but I'm not sure if avocado is even good. So remember that some of this, oh, it actually is kind of decent. It takes, once you get used to cooking at home, for those of you who don't do it, you're gonna find that not only does it save you money, but the food that you get to have is higher quality. And all you're trying to do is really create a space where you can connect with the people that you love. And so the reason why I'm doing this video is just to let you know that, again, don't think about having it all. Just think about what's important to you and share it with the people that you love. For me, I love to have dinner parties. I love good, fresh food. It's important to me to have, to nurture my kids in that way. But I'd also say that there are other services like Blue Apron. You can go to Whole Foods and get prepared foods. Trader Joe's is awesome. I'm a Californian, so grew up on Trader Joe's. And you can get really nutritious foods. I would just watch salt content, you know, with prepared foods. But Whole Foods and Trader Joe's does an excellent job of that. Excuse me, guys, I just dropped my dish towel for a second. And you can have a wonderful meal. And tonight, guys, we're just really doing it simple. We just steamed some broccoli the other night, which I really love. We eat a lot of broccoli and cauliflower almost every week. We have lots of garlic. But we tend to cook in batches. So that way there are a couple of days where we're just kind of pulling things out in the refrigerator. Sometimes we'll have topsy-turvy, where we'll just make breakfast for dinner, like we'll do frittatas or omelets and just a salad. And remember, guys, if you're making an omelet, you've got your dressing made, it's a pretty quick meal. Put out a nice cheese. For those of you who are not gluten intolerant, put out a nice baguette or a gluten-free bread, and it makes a really wonderful meal. So I'm so happy that you guys are able to kind of hang out with me a little bit and see what I do. Again, nothing extraordinary here. I just love my family. I love to cook. I love to connect with them, and what better way to do that is over food. So I don't, even if you're not doing it every night, excuse me, and you're doing it, let's say, 5 nights a week, that's okay, or even 4 nights. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can go ahead and just set aside. I would start with, you know what, let's eat twice a week together. So either you or your partner, or you, your partner, and your kids. Twice a week, you guys just decide that you're gonna have a meal and have everybody cook. It's really, you know, it's so much fun. We had a big Game of Thrones party last Sunday, and we had a bunch of people over, and my daughter made a flourless chocolate cake, and she did a fantastic job. And believe it or not, it didn't look that great, you guys, but it tasted phenomenal. In fact, I think that my kids are gonna be coming in just a moment, so you may be able to see them. I know I'm making dinner a little bit early because, believe it or not, I have a client at 6, so we're gonna eat a little bit early. So sometimes, you know, I make adjustments, and usually my kids are really hungry when they get home from school. So hopefully they will come in and want to be on camera, and they will say hello. They're shy. I'm the only extrovert in my home. And so I've got all these introverts, and sometimes they're a little bit camera shy. So I'm gonna see if I can get one of these rare spotted owls actually on camera. But just to kind of go over, all we're having is, I had a tiny bit of stir fry left over, so it's a little bit of a leftover night. We've got some pasta. I've got a salad that I've made. We have our broccoli and cauliflower, and then we've got some, cheese, and we've got this beautiful, there's a restaurant that I really love that I'd love to tell you guys about. It's called Storico. Sorry, I had to get off camera just for a second. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Storico makes this traditional, it's like a chocolate tort. It's almost like a mousse inside. It's like almost like a pie with like mousse inside. It's really, really light. It looks very dense and it's small. And so everybody just gets like kind of a bite of it. We don't normally have dessert every night, but once or twice a week we do. The kids like it. If you do go to Storico, it's in Buckhead. It is super awesome. They have a chef's table where you can literally sit in back and in the kitchen and watch folks rolling out pasta, cooking it. I mean, it's really, truly amazing. And there's a wonderful waiter there that I just love. The server is amazing. His name is William, and he always treats me so well every time I go there. But at Storico, they also have like an array of cheeses. They have like a full antipasto where you can get all these things if you want to have prosciutto and all that. And so that's also things that you can do. Guys, those are my dogs. They hear the dogs hear the kids coming home. Kind of talking and cooking and getting us ready for dinner, and
you have to.
You should definitely turn this into a cooking show.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you. Guys, my daughter's saying we should do a cooking show. I did make my dressing for them. Will you tell them how good the dressing is?
10 out of 10.
Terrible.
Thank you, Jordan. That's
Jordan, she's filming.
He doesn't care. Thank you, Jordan. This is what you have to look forward to, those of you who are thinking about having children. I have one that I can give to you, and he makes pasta. Anyway, guys, if you have any comments, if you want to know about the dressing, I'd be happy to give you the recipe. But just know that you can structure your lives so that it's enjoyable, that you have lots of connection, that you can eat fresh food, that you can grow your business. I'm Chantel Cohen, and I help you become one again. Bye, guys.